So to refurbish these locking mechanisms using the parts from the refurb kit, we'll begin by removing the old lock cases from the mechanism. In this case, the gearbox, starting with the central gearbox, is fixed using 3 T20 Torx screws. So we'll remove the gearbox first. You'll notice the central T20 Torx screw on the gearbox is slightly shorter, and we'll need to remember that for later. Once our 3 screws are out, we'll remove our gearbox and move on to the top hook and deadbolt case. This is an integrated hook and deadbolt case. And again, these are T20 Torx screws, and there's 2 in each of these lock cases. Both of these are the longer screw, so there's only 1 short screw, and that's this central gearbox screw. Once we've removed our top lock case, you'll find that this section of drive rod and the extension for the chute bolt are not captive, so they will become loose. So we'll retain those, keeping note of the position that they're in and the direction that the 90-degree returns face on those, which is backwards from the faceplate. And we'll move on to our bottom lock case. So again, 2 T20 Torx screws, and prepare that when we remove these screws, it will release sections of drive rod on the back. So again, keeping note of the order of the drive rods and the direction of those returns. And we can move on to our refurb kit components. So we will now need the parts from our refurb kit. The components provided with the kit in this case include the central gearbox, which is a latch and hook type. And this is a double spindle gearbox, 92 and 62mm centres. There's also the top locking point, which is a hook and integrated deadbolt lock case, and the lower, which is a hook and integrated deadbolt lock case. Both of these will feature upwards facing hooks, and the central gearbox has a downward facing hook. All of these parts are affixed with T20 Torx screws. There is 1 screw that differs in length. It is a shorter screw, and that is for the central position of the gearbox. So we can now begin to reassemble our lock using the refurb kit components. So we can now begin to reassemble this lock using the new components from the refurb kit. We'll start with the central gearbox. The best way to approach this to begin is to make sure the gearbox is in the unlocked position, so with the hook withdrawn, and we will need to stand the gearbox up so that the latch and hook bolt are facing upwards, lay the faceplate alongside, and have ready our drive rods that sit behind the faceplate. Again, this 90-degree return pointing backwards from the faceplate. These will locate with that 90-degree return sitting inside a notch that is cut out of this operating plate inside the gearbox. So when we do assemble this, ultimately, this will end up sitting inside this notch, which for the bottom one is located just below the hook bolt. And for the top one is located just down from the fixing screw lug. So with everything positioned like this, it should just be an easy case of dropping the faceplate over the top of the gearbox, and then with it in situ, lift one end and locate that drive rod as explained inside that notch, and then use the faceplate to keep it in position. And once you've got it there, it's one of the T20 torque screws, and it's one of the standard length ones. It's not the one short screw. Again, remember these are usually cast components and not to over tighten any screws. Once that one's in, that drive rod should be held in position. Then move to the top. Don't put your central screw in yet, so that you've got as much flex as possible to lift that drive rod, and again get that positioned in that notch. And again, it's one of the longer T20 drive screws, machine screws. Once they're both secure, the central screw, which is the one shorter screw, in the middle position. These T20 drivers are available, very handy for multi-point gearbox changes. So with our central gearbox complete, we'll now move on to our top locking point. Okay, so moving on to our top, and this is a hook and integrated deadbolt case. The easiest way to approach this is with the lock case on its back with the locking points facing up, and we're going to lay the faceplate across. And what we're looking to do here is make sure that this T-shaped section of this drive rod is going to sit with the cross of the T sitting inside this notch. So this lock case is positioned, hook furthest from the gearbox, deadbolt closest to the gearbox. This is the notch just below the start of the deadbolt, and we're going to sit this T section inside that notch and sit the whole thing on top. And then push the deadbolt through the aperture to make sure that sits flush. Once the deadbolt's sitting in the aperture and that T is in that notch, it should sit nice and flush. And at that point, it's another T20 torque screw in the bottom fixing, and then that will retain that faceplate, that drive rod, sorry, to the faceplate. So we can now move on to reinstating the top extension for the chute bolt. Of the two pieces that are left, this will be the longer one is the top. And again, we have a T section, and that T section will again sit in another set of notches that are towards the bottom, or the top in this case, of the locking point. So you can see there's a slight notch cut out. We sit the chute bolt extension inside that notch, and then secure the faceplate over the top. And once it's all in position, screw it down tight with another T20 torque screw. And we can now move on to our bottom lock case. So for the bottom lock case, essentially repeating the process for the top one. Again positioned with the hook nearest to the gearbox, still an upwards hook, and the deadbolt furthest from the gearbox, and positioned again so that this T section of the control rod, the drive rod, sits inside the notches of the operation plates of the lock case. So with it sitting on its back, we sit those on top, position it on top, get that drive rod home, position our deadbolt, manipulate our deadbolt into the aperture so that the faceplate sits flat and flush. And then once we're happy it's all in position, one T20 torque screw, we'll hold it all in situ. And again we've got a chute bolt extension, and the chute bolt extension, same process as before. So we're going to open this up, manipulate our chute bolt extension underneath, and there's another, exactly the same as the top, there's another set of notches just here below the deadbolt that T section will sit inside. And once that's hooked over, you may have to give the deadbolt a bit of a wiggle so that it sits flush again. It's hooked on, and your bottom fixing screw should be the last part you have left. So now we should have a refurbished Millenco Mantis 3 system using the components from the refurb kit.